10% to 70% in just over 5 minutes. That is BYD's new charger. And it is not a BYD-only charger. It is open to almost any electric car. While everyone has been talking about whether BYD can survive EU tariffs, BYD has quietly been building the exact infrastructure to make that question irrelevant. A charging network faster than anything currently on European roads, a factory in Hungary, and a dealer count that is about to double in 12 months. Here on Voltshift, this is the video where we stop talking about BYD's cars for a moment and talk about BYD's actual plan. Let's start with the charger, because the number is genuinely hard to believe. In March 2026, BYD unveiled an upgraded version of its flash charging system, now rated at 1.5 megawatts. 1.5 megawatts. The fastest public chargers in Europe right now top out around 350 kilowatts. This is more than 4 times that. The real-world demo numbers: 10% to 70% charge in just over 5 minutes, 10% to 97% in just over 9 minutes. Even in extreme cold, down to minus 30 degrees, BYD says it can still go from 20 to 97% in 12 minutes, starting from a higher charge level than the room temperature test, but still remarkable for those conditions. That is barely a coffee break. Here is the part most coverage gets wrong, and I want to be precise about it. This is not a closed BYD-only club. The system uses standard CCS2 connectors. It is open to any electric vehicle with compatible architecture, not just BYD models. BYD's own posh sub-brand Denza gets dealer-branded versions first, but the public stations carry the open flash name, and any EV with the right voltage architecture can use them. The plan: 6,000 of these stations outside China within the next 12 months. 3,000 of those specifically in Europe. The honest caveat: this only works on vehicles built for it right now, specifically cars using BYD's second-generation Blade battery. Your current BYD will not suddenly charge this fast. The technology needs to filter down into more affordable models over time. But the direction is unmistakable. BYD is not waiting for European charging infrastructure to catch up. They are building their own, and opening it to competitors too. If 3,000 of these stations actually land across Europe within a year, this becomes a genuine competitive weapon that neither Tesla's supercharger network nor any single European manufacturer currently matches. And unlike Tesla's original approach, it isn't locked to one brand. If that charging stat genuinely surprised you, hit like right now. It tells me these deep dive strategy videos are worth making, not just the car comparisons. And subscribe to Voltshift if you want to actually understand these brands, not just their spec sheets. Quick reminder: the EU taxes Chinese-made EVs up to 35%. BYD pays 27% total today. Building inside Europe makes that number disappear. BYD's factory in Szeged, Hungary, is not a small operation testing the waters. It is a €4 billion investment on a 300-hectare site, BYD's first passenger car plant anywhere in Europe. Trial production started in January 2026. Full series production begins in the second quarter of this year. The first car off the line is the Dolphin Surf, known in China as the Seagull. The Otto 3, Dolphin, and Seal will follow. Capacity? The plant is built for up to 300,000 vehicles a year. BYD will run below that for the first 2 years, while the supply chain matures. Early output is closer to 150,000, but the ceiling is set, and it is enormous. This is not just about dodging tariffs. BYD relocated its entire European headquarters to Budapest. They opened a research and development center there dedicated to autonomous driving technology. Hungary is not a manufacturing outpost for BYD. It is becoming their European command center. They are also building a second European factory in Turkey, with a third potentially in Spain. Combined Hungary and Turkey capacity alone is projected at around 500,000 vehicles a year. While BYD is still importing vehicles and absorbing tariffs today, every signal points to Europe-built BYDs becoming the norm within 2 to 3 years, at which point the entire tariff conversation becomes irrelevant for this brand. Here is a number that should change how you think about BYD as a brand. By the end of 2025, BYD had over 1,000 points of sale across 29 European markets. Their stated plan for 2026: double that to 2,000. This is a direct quote from BYD Europe's regional managing director, confirmed at an industry event in late 2025. Not a rumor, not a projection from an analyst. BYD said this themselves. Why does this matter if you are just trying to decide whether to buy one? Because a car is only as good as the service network behind it. Every dealer is a service point, a parts source, a warranty claim handler. Doubling that network in a single year is either an extraordinary execution achievement or a recipe for growing pains. Probably both. BYD is not behaving like a brand testing the European market. It is behaving like a brand that has already decided it is going to be one of the largest players here and is building the infrastructure years ahead of where its current sales volume would justify. Let's put the three pieces together. A charging system that makes today's fastest public chargers look outdated, and one that BYD is opening to competitors rather than locking to its own badge. A €4 billion factory in Hungary, with 2 more planned, aiming at 500,000 vehicles of European-built annual capacity, and a dealer network set to double to 2,000 locations in a single year. None of these are bets on a single car model. They are infrastructure bets. The kind of investment that only makes sense if you believe you are going to be selling hundreds of thousands of cars a year in Europe within the next 3 to 5 years. Tesla built the supercharger network years before most competitors took charging infrastructure seriously, and that decision still pays off today. BYD looks like it is trying to do the same thing, but across manufacturing, charging, and retail simultaneously, faster than Tesla ever did. And with an open network approach, Tesla took a decade to embrace. Whether that bet pays off depends on execution most other Chinese brands have struggled with: reliability, service quality, software maturity. We have been honest about those gaps in every video so far, but the scale of this build-out is not in question. The only question left is whether BYD can grow into the infrastructure it is building, or whether it is building the infrastructure faster than it can grow into it. That is BYD's European playbook, as it stands right now in 2026. Here's my question for the comments. Is doubling a dealer network to 2,000 locations in 12 months an execution miracle? Or is BYD moving too fast for its own service quality to keep up? I have seen arguments both ways, and I genuinely want yours. Drop your take below. I read every comment and reply to the best arguments this week. Subscribe so you do not miss it. I will see you in the comments.